If you've been playing trumpet for a while, but the upper register still feels like a struggle, feels like your notes are thin, it feels like you're forcing, overblowing, your endurance dies in 10 to 15 minutes, I'm gonna tell you exactly what's happening, and it's probably not what you think. So you're blowing harder, you're pressing harder, you're working harder, but the notes keep getting worse and worse. Sound familiar? The main cause of all these issues is that you're using force instead of efficiency. High notes require fast air, not more air. So it's kind of like the garden hose analogy. I'm sure a lot of you have heard already, where when the water is on, it's going at a specific speed, then you cover a bit of the hold there where the water is coming out and the water goes faster. So same thing with your air, you want to focus on faster air. But how do we do that? What are some things we can do, and how do we do that properly? How do we properly train the upper register? When it comes to developing a real upper register, you need a system. And so I developed one. I'll link that blueprint, that upper register blueprint program in the description. Check it out. If I had to choose one exercise to teach for the rest of my life to improve students and trumpet players' upper register, I would easily choose soft upper register playing. If you can't land comfortably on high C, that means you have to go lower and train lower notes below high C to make that same feeling happen. For those, only then you'll know that your embouchure is developed enough to move up. I'm gonna give you a quick exercise that you could try at home to see if you can play piano on some of these upper notes that are near the top of your register. So the first thing is you pick a note that's near the top. Then you'll give it 3 dynamic levels. You can give it a forte, then a mezzo forte, and then a piano. If you can play that note at a piano comfortably and relaxed without forcing anything, then you know that that note is great and you can move up higher. So I will demonstrate this on a high C. So let's give this a forte here. And a mezzo forte. We'll do piano. So if you could see my body language, the way I'm playing, I'm not doing much work to play that C piano, that high C at a piano. So that's what you want to get to. You want to go up step by step from a specific note that's below your highest note and see where that pressure, that tension begins to creep in when you try to play that high note that you're working on at a piano, at a soft dynamic. If you can play your highest note softly with a good tone, then you actually own that note. If you can only hit it by forcing, by playing it loud, you're just renting it. You're renting it for the amount of time that it's in the music, it's written there, you have to hit it, you're trying, and rent is expensive. What I showed you was just one piece of it, one exercise. The truth is, when it comes to developing a real upper register, you need a system, a progression, a daily routine. You need a system to diagnose the issues that you're having that are actually holding you back from your goal. And so I developed one. It's called the Upper Register Blueprint Program. It's a complete program. The philosophy, the exercises, the daily routine, the troubleshooting of the most common issues with the upper register. It's a 6-week program, and it comes from also my experience of 20 years of playing trumpet and 15 plus years of playing lead trumpet. It's everything I know, written step by step, and it'll actually start you off from where you are, whatever issue you are having. You'll be able to identify that issue in that blueprint and focus on it. And I'm 100% sure that if you do end up checking it out, it will help you grow as a trumpet player and as a lead player. If what I talked about in this video clicked for you, you liked it, and it helped you, then the blueprint is the full thing. It gives more exercises, the deep dive into the philosophy of why these mistakes happen, of why we are limited in the upper register, and what specifically you need to do to get there. So I'll link that blueprint, that upper register blueprint program in the description. Check it out. Stop forcing, start building efficiency. Your upper register will thank you. Develop it the proper way, and then have some fun. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. God bless you all.